question I get asked all the time is how much should you spend on your Facebook ads? So I want to break that down for my restaurant clients. I want to help you understand this formula that I kind of use to come up with what numbers you should be spending on your ads so that you can track the return you're getting. I'm Tracy Matney. I'm the founder of Restaurant Victory and the lead strategist at Victory Point Social. And I help restaurants get more fans for their brand and put more bills in their till through targeted social media advertising and chat marketing. In this video, I'm going to break down a few of the things that you need to know when you're spending money on Facebook without just hitting that boost button, having a strategy to actually run ads and get results. Okay, so let's get down to it. We're not talking about boosting posts here. You can do that for $1 and you can do it yourself. I'm talking about strategic advertising on Facebook and Instagram with the goal of converting people into customers. Now, there's a lot of things you have to think about. Who is your audience? Are you trying to reach everyone with your product? What kind of business do you have? Is it a fast casual restaurant? Is it fine dining? Those are kinds of things you have to think about when you're trying to reach your targeted audience. What is your offer? Do you have a good offer that you're putting out there? Or is this just a brand awareness campaign where you're just trying to get a few likes? What are you actually trying to accomplish? Those are some things that are really important to think about. The other thing is, what is the lifetime value of a customer? This is super important. You have to know this number before you ever start running ads. Otherwise, you're just going to be running ads and not really knowing if it makes sense to be spending what you're spending to get the customers that you're getting. Now, we typically start most of our restaurant clients at around $10 a day on their ads, and we do 1 to 5 miles from their business, depending on rural or metropolitan. Okay, so let's just use an example from one of my actual clients. Let's say that your target audience is 50 and older. Maybe you have traditional food that might reach that particular audience. Now, where do you think they hang out? They're mostly on Facebook. They're not really on Instagram. So you can save your money by not marketing this particular offer on Instagram. If you want to reach your ideal client, put your dollars right toward where they are, which is mostly going to be Facebook over Instagram for that age bracket. Now, you're going to want to make sure you have a really good offer that speaks directly to them. That's going to make them want to spend money at your restaurant. But keep in mind, when you're running your ads on Facebook, you're not just competing with other restaurants that are trying to reach that audience. You're also competing with everybody else that's trying to reach people in their 50s. What are people in their 50s interested in? Do they maybe shop at Walmart? Do they shop online? Where do they shop? That's something that's really important to know to reach your ideal client. Maybe they have grown kids, and so they're researching things to do with your adult kids, or maybe they have grandkids at that point. So there's a lot of different advertisers that are going to be trying to reach them besides just other restaurants. Here's something really important I want to break down for you. You need to know how much can you spend to attain a lead and how much can you spend to attain a customer. Those two metrics are really important because you need to know how much does it cost to get them to be a lead and how much does it cost to convert them into a paying customer, and what is your conversion rate? How good is your marketing to convince them to actually come in? In my experience in research, CPL, or cost per lead, can range between 15 cents per lead up to even $2 per lead, depending on the type of restaurant that you're at and depending on the experience of you as an advertiser or if you hire an ads agency. Now, converting those leads into customers will be anywhere between 1% and even 40%. Once you learn your cost per lead and cost per conversion numbers, that's CPL and CPC, you can calculate your ad spend based on your goals. Now, by the way, we consider someone a lead once we have at least one piece of contact information from them away from the social platform. That means or a messenger subscription and their consent to market to them directly. For example, if you want to get 25 leads per day and they're costing you 40 cents each, then you should spend $10 a day. If you convert 10% of those leads, that gives you your cost per conversion, or CPC, of $4. $4 isn't bad to spend to get someone to come into your restaurant, right? So if you think about it like that, if all those metrics are in place, you're going to be doing just fine. Now, if any of those numbers change, like maybe you're starting to convert only 1% of those people, then you're spending $40 to be able to convert them. Or what if that cost number from 40 cents goes up to $2? Then you're going to be spending a lot more money to be able to get those 25 leads per day. So those are just some things you have to think about when you are running your Facebook ads. Okay, so here is a formula for you. You're gonna need to think about the number of leads that you desire every day times your cost per lead times your conversion rate. That is your CPC. So for example, 25 leads times 40 cents each times 10% conversion, that is $4 cost per customer or cost per conversion, CPC. Now, what if you want 25 leads per day and your CPL is $4 each? You're going to need to spend $100 a day. So if you convert 10%, then your cost per conversion is $40. 25 leads times $4 times 10% is $40 per conversion. But how many leads do you need to hit your revenue goals? How do you figure out how many leads you actually need? Well, you need to figure out how much you are willing to spend to attain a lifetime customer. Now, I say you need to work backwards to figure this one out. Figure out your return rate and your average order value. Then we're going to calculate lifetime value. And then you'll know your lead and conversion goals. So let me break that down for you. The average order value is how much does an average customer spend? And then you need to know what is your profit on that. How many times do they return to spend that amount? That's your return rate. And how many years do you keep them as a customer? All right, so now I want you to calculate the lifetime value, or LTV. This is a very important metric to understand. When you know that one restaurant customer spends $150 over the course of 1 year, and maybe they come back 5 years in a row, it puts it into perspective when you decide to spend $10 to $15 to acquire them for that first visit. So here is the formula that I want you to figure out. AOV is average order value times return rate times years equals lifetime value. So for example, a $25 order times 6 visits a year times 5 years is $750 in lifetime revenue. Now, of course, you've got expenses. We're going to take out the variable expenses, things that go up when you get more customers. Those variable costs like food costs, supplies, labor, that leaves you with about $15 per profit per visit with around $450 in lifetime profit. Pretty nice for whatever advertising spend you're willing to do. So are you willing now to spend maybe $10 to $15 to acquire them for that first visit, to get them to spend $450 over the lifetime of that customer? Now remember, change out any of these variables and you'll get a different outcome. Maybe you're a fine dining restaurant and your average order value is $100 times 3 visits a year. That's $300 times 5 years. That's $1,500 in lifetime revenue. So these are just the things to think about whenever you're calculating to run your Facebook ads. So now let's go back. How much are you willing to spend to convert clicks into customers? If you only had to spend $4 to acquire that customer to make that $15 profit on that example, you still have $11 to spend on the first visit before you even break even. And then every subsequent visit after that is just profit. Okay, I know that was a lot to digest. I know. But you are an entrepreneur. You need to know these numbers for the success of your business. So I just really couldn't sugarcoat it, or you probably get mad at me because I didn't give you all the real answers. Once you know these numbers, what's really exciting is that actually you can figure out how much money you need to put into the Facebook machine to get something on the other side. If you learn that maybe it costs, you get 50-cent leads, and you know that you can convert a whole bunch of those, and you want to spend $10 a day, you can get 20 leads every day. So then if you know it only costs you 50 cents to get a lead, you could double your ad spend. Instead of getting 20 leads a day, you're going to get 40 leads a day. So it's kind of like a snowball effect. Once you start to figure out how much it actually costs to acquire that customer, you can increase them over time. And that is how you scale your Facebook ads and make it worth your money. Make sure that you're getting an ROI, a return on your investment. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is that you have to know your numbers. You have to understand how much it costs to acquire a lead, how much to get them to come in the door, and how much profit you're making off of each customer. If you know these numbers, then you'll feel more comfortable when you start running Facebook ads. And I would definitely recommend sitting down with someone like me who can sit down with you face to face over Zoom, and we can have a conversation about your ads themselves and your restaurant and see what might be the best thing for you. I do offer a free strategy call, and I would love to sit down and talk with you for 30 minutes. We can go over any questions that you have about running Facebook ads, and if it makes sense, we can talk about how much it might cost to hire us to just do it all for you so you don't even have to worry about it. But I do want to warn you, if you're talking to any agency and they're not asking you these questions, you're talking with a beginner. and they may not know to ask these kinds of questions to you. It's really important that your ads manager understands your average order value, your cost per lead, your cost per conversion, and the lifetime value of all of your customers. These numbers are vital to running Facebook ads. So I can't wait to talk to you. If you want to talk to me on the phone, click the link below and you can book a call with me. And if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And I have tons of other videos where I break down other things related to Facebook ads for your restaurant. So just click the link around this video and you can find all of my other videos. I'll see you soon. Can't wait to get you more fans for your brand and bills in your till. See ya.